There's a great story that is circulated around the league about Jimmy Butler kind of going off during that practice when you guys were both in Minnesota.
Like going off on like...
I just know that he was competing.
Like on the coaches and stuff?
I don't really know the whole story.
You got to walk us through it. You got to set that up for us. Set that scene for us. Because outside looking in, like, we was like, damn, it's total chaos in Minnesota right now. Like,
no, for sure.
It was like Jimmy versus Minnesota. Like, that's what like I took away from it. Like,
I mean, much respect to Jimmy. Let me tell you that before I start anything. Like, I needed the help to get to the first playoffs. It's a team game, and you know, we both did a lot of work to get us there. So, you know, shout out to him. I don't ever want to disrespect no. I'm not a man. I don't know what the world is right now, but I wasn't raised to disrespect nobody. I'm not a disrespectful kind of man. So anyone I disrespect, I obviously let them anger me. He who angers owns him. So I'm not owned by anybody.
Right.
So I give him the flowers. I'm a person, but I give him flowers. So I give him his flowers for sure. You know, we did something special to get him back to the playoffs that year. But that practice, what I remember, I mean, everyone got so many. Everyone saw what Derrick Rose said. He wrote a whole book about it. Yeah. You know, he wrote a book with a big part of it in it. I guess Jeff Teague just talked about it. Someone told me. I'm not.
Yeah, it got brought up.
I just kind of downloaded social media, and if you guys didn't tell me, I would have not known. So
no, yeah. Do you need some?
No, it was
backstory of what Jeff said.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it simple. I ain't here to really talk about that story all the time, but like I do remember this. We had practice. We had that game. It was the 4 starters and another player. I don't remember. Sorry if I don't remember. And it was Jimmy, his boy from Marquette, Odom, and 3 other guys who ended up. I think one of them actually ended up being a starter for us. Mm-hmm. So we played, and I was balling. He was passing a lot. He got 1 free throw. And then I know we had a moment where we was arguing with each other. He said some shit. I said some shit back. I wasn't going for that. And then Tibbs started getting that shakes in there. See Tibbs shaking, and I was like, Tibbs like getting out. He's like smiling. You know, he got that little smile with that shit. So
Jeff said that Tibbs like to shake when he's excited.
Oh man, he got that shake going. A shake getting him excited, boy. So I remember we was arguing. I know Taj Gibson was at the free throw line. That's when we started arguing back and forth with each other because we right next to each other. So it wasn't like either of us was like opposite sides. We were just right next to each other arguing. And I remember I remember what he was talking about too. He was talking about like a preseason game right before we played the Bucks, and he was talking about that to me, and I was like, I said what I said.
Yeah,
I love what I said too, and and then they ended up winning the game. I think they got a last second shot to go in. I think they made I think it was a free throw. They made a free throw late, and it's like running time 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it was like a quick like little scrimmage, whatever. And then I remember the whole thing happened when he's screaming at the people and everything. Y'all need me, walks off. Mm-hmm. Games, I guess practice is over. Mm-hmm. And we're in the preseason, so we needed the practice. So whatever happens, happens. I know that. Next day we had team meeting, and I remember the day after that we had practice. We had practice again now. And then I remember it was all 5 of us. It was the starters, all the starters you saw, me, Taj, Wig, Jeff, and Jimmy versus
second unit.
I think it was the third unit. The third unit, I believe. And we lost by like 10.
Third unit beat y'all.
Yeah.
With Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that practice meant nothing then. Basically,
I'm guessing not.
Y'all third string is really good. Is what y'all
we need to play them motherfuckers. Goddamn, right? Shit.
With Jimmy, without Jimmy, that third string was just what it was.
It's preseason. You've been in preseason. I've seen a lot. Yeah. You always try to win, but everyone's trying to really like work on that
team. That's like they got something to prove.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's whatever. I just know that I've been around long enough. Maybe. For us, it's just like I've seen a lot of teams where you play in the preseason and you're doing training camp, whatever, and it's like you ain't winning every game. You know, you're all working on something. You're trying to figure out plays. There's maybe a miscommunication. That's the time to have it because it's the preseason training camp. But I do remember that fact. I remember that whole practice happened the way it happened. We had the team meeting the next day. I pulled Jimmy to the side. We talked. Told him what I'm about. I'm about winning, and I'm not here for all that. So if we about winning, then I don't really care about anything else that happened the day before. I'll let all that shit slide, all the rumors and shit in the summer. I don't really care as long as I could come to work and we could win games. That's all I care about. And then the next day we did our starters versus them, and we lost by like 10 or 8 or something like that. So that's what I remember from that day. So, I mean, I feel like everyone's giving an account. I don't want to give an account. But there's that. Yeah. So
we want it from the source, so that cleared that.
I mean, ask Jimmy that shit. I understand.
and just for the public, the fans to know, that shit happens. Like, it just because of the situation, it got broadcasted and it got publicized and blown out of proportion. That shit happens. Like, teammates get into it. I've been in locker rooms, I've been in practices where guys literally was grabbing each other by the neck.
No, for sure.
No bullshit.
I've seen people punching each other and stuff, but like I said, like we had an argument. We had the argument.
That.
Yeah, right.
That got
say that. Javonte Davis. Things happen the way they happen. It is what it is. Could I have said more when I was younger at that point? I could. But I really cared about the organization. I cared about that shield, that logo we all wear in the NBA, in the NBA logo. And I just was only about being a professional, So I probably have said something. Could I have said my truth and probably saved me a lot of stigmas and narratives and stuff people paint on me for sure. I took the approach of a wise man. A wise man says nothing at all. I took the high road and just worried about playing basketball and stuff. Obviously, social media took it a whole nother way, but I could say from then on, me and Jimmy, we had our differences, but we've seen each other at All Stars, and we've talked, and I've asked how his family was, and he asked how my family was, and I think we had a cool spot. So
that's what you get. That's what you get, and I think that's healthy when you get two guys.
I can't hold grudges. I ain't got no time for that shit.
Yeah, but it's at the end of the day, it's also healthy. Like, that shit can be healthy. You got two guys that want to get to the same place, but each guy is getting there differently. You know what I mean? And so that's just being expressed on how do we get there together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not here to disrespect. I don't disrespect nobody. That's not who I am. I'm not here on some disrespectful shit. That's not like how I was raised. I wasn't raised to disrespect men or women, especially women. So like, I couldn't fathom. Like, of course, I talk my shit. I do what, I'm still Jersey, from Jersey and shit. I got my
Jersey
own,
like, Jersey
antics and shit. But like, I'm always going to back myself up, and I'm not going to just be out here publicly disrespecting people when I got a job that has taken care of me and my family for life, Like, I ain't trying to be out here trying to play for social media. I'm here to play for the Wolves, So that was how my mindset was. Could I have done something different? For sure. Most likely could have, but I picked the road I picked. I hope people, fans, I think real fans and stuff, they see the character I hold, because I could have said a lot more. I could have did a lot more. I could have played the game, and I didn't. I decided not to.
All right, Jackie, it's time to check in on our picks again.
Shh. It's playoff times, man. It's getting serious right now. I got to focus.
I just won big thanks to Jamal Murray and the Joker beating their projections. How'd you do this week?
There you go again. I'm up as always. And people don't even know what we're talking about, man. Let the people know we're talking about Prize Picks.
So Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you pick 2 to 6 players like the video on your screen, then pick if they will have more or less than their Prize Picks projection. You aren't competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. So Jackie, tell me about an entry that you won on this week.
All I did is projected that Stephen Curry was going to get more points than he was projected to get, and Jimmy Butler just did the same thing. I've just picked more and more because that's all it was. And you know what? I know how much money I won, too. But tell the Prize Pick people how much they can win.
So you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. And on top of that, all first-time users that deposit and use our promo code PODCASTP will receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100.
That means if you deposit $20, Prize Picks will give you $20. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. Cha-ching!